I am altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
Oh, idiot.
Screw you, buddy! If you want to die, you do it on your own!
Sweet.
Hello, hello, welcome back, Gaze community. Well, it has been quite the week and a day, has it not? It was only January 5th when Linda Codega came forward with some information from what she claimed was a reputable source about the new open game license from Wizards of the Coast / Hasbro. And Gizmodo published that article, and it seems like things were going downhill very quickly, and it also seemed like it was mostly true, if not entirely true. And these leaks, man, these leaks always kind of raise red flags, if you will. Generally because we've seen larger corporations doing this for some time now. We'll see a leak about a movie or a television show, just about a basic premise, about all the intricacies involved with, you know, the social contracts and all that. And, you know, I think they put these leaks out just to gauge a response. But the problem is, I think Wizards of the Coast sat on this far too long. People got far too upset really quickly, and justifiably, by the way. I don't mean they were too upset. I mean they got really upset, more so than Wizards was anticipating. And yeah, but they crammed a whole bunch of crap into this new OGL that really just kind of made it something it was, well, what they claim it was intended to be, but what nobody else thought it was intended to be. Basically, it was a power grab, a money grab, and the whole thing just stank to most people. There were several things in this OGL that people really had a problem with. One of the biggest ones was that they were going to try to unauthorize the original Open Gaming License 1.1 or 1.0A, and that of course had people in an uproar. It made certain publishers wonder what that meant for their futures. You know, a lot of publishers have become pretty prominent using the Open Gaming License, and naturally they were concerned. Not to mention there is a slew of smaller publishers who were obviously upset about this, as they should be, seeing as how these new policies would really make it almost, if not completely impossible, for smaller publishers to actually create content. And of course, there was that beautiful clause that basically stated, any and all creations of yours are now ours. We can do whatever we want with them. We can publish them without giving you so much as notice, let alone royalties or credit. So yeah, that's basically, if you were to sign this Open Gaming License 1.1, you'd be signing your rights to everything away, everything, as well as possibly having to pay them for the right of stealing your work. And those are just a few of the problems. There was quite a few. But that same day, January 5th, the royalty matter in question was that those who use Kickstarter will only have to pay 20% of their earnings, and that's not profit, that's total earnings on a project or a crowdfunded project. And other platforms, they would charge 25%. They called Kickstarter their preferred crowdfunding source. And why is that, I wonder? But John Ritter, he's the director of games at Kickstarter, he came out that same day and tweeted that they basically confirmed it, that this new Open Game License was it, and that that's what Wizards was doing, because he said that, you know, he was just trying to help out the customers. He was trying to do all that he can for creators, and managed to get that Kickstarter percentage down to 20%. So kudos to him for doing that. However, that was basically a confirmation that this OGL was legit, and it existed, and that it's probably coming. So naturally, everybody was upset. People were concerned. They were afraid for their futures. And leave it to Wizards of the Coast to not care. They didn't care at all. They didn't respond, not a whisper out of them, until January 10th, 5 full days later. And what was their big response? Well, we know you have questions about the OGL, and we will be sharing more soon. Thank you for your patience. Wow. What a slap in the face. What a total slap in the face to all these creators, these people who have put this brand on their shoulders and lifted them up. D&D would not be anything what it is today if not for these smaller creators, these YouTubers, these people, people who have just taken D&D and run with it and basically given Wizards of the Coast free advertisement for many years, as well as creating awesome products that caused people to, support the main product, which was Dungeons & Dragons, as well as driving people to the game itself. That was their response to these fine folks. To add insult to injury, January 12th, D&D Shorts came out with a supposed leak from an insider at Wizards, which does not paint Wizards of the Coast in a very flattering light. He said it's what we feared. The higher-ups despise us, the D&D community, and see us not only as an obstacle, or see us only as an obstacle to their money. Wow. But yeah, then he posted the message he got from this leaker. He went on to say that he has reached out and confirmed that this person is who they say they are. This note just spells out a couple things that it's not good for anyone, really. I mean, it looks horrible for Wizards of the Coast. And of course, it would make any loyal customer, any loyal creator who has stood by them for years and years and years, I feel like an idiot, really. Just the bullet points here, we'll read those. He says they are briefly delaying the rollout of the open gaming license changes due to the backlash, obviously. He says their decision making is based entirely on the provable impact of their bottom line. I think we knew that. The leaker says specifically they are looking at DDB subscriptions, that of course is D&D Beyond, and cancellations, as it is the quickest financial data they currently have. And that they are hoping, here's the kicker, they're hoping the community forgets, moves on, and they can still push this through. That's sick. That's absolutely sick, but I mean expected at this point. Man, oh man. So, yeah, once again, I'll link this below. You can check it out for yourself. Just really disgusting business practices. I mean, we know, corporations are never fully really there for their customers. They're there to make money. We know that. But there's a way to do it, respectfully. There's a way to do it and still keep a shred of ethics about it. Yeah, this is just the wrong move, and I think it's going to blow up right in their face. I mean, it already has, as of yesterday. PAIZO came out and announced their plan to create a system-neutral open RPG license in collaboration with several other game companies, and I believe they're still signing on other game companies as we speak. But they said it's going to be irrevocable, perpetual, and they don't actually want to own the license either. I believe they're looking at sending it to a non-profit organization who will own the rights to this open game system that will, in their view, live on forever. And man, that lit a fire under Wizards. They decided to put out a statement, but we'll get to that in a minute. There were several things that PAIZO said that really, I don't know, I think it was more of a slap in the face to Wizards of the Coast than anything else, because of all the companies out there, PAIZO would probably be the greatest affected by this. They said, among other things, I'm not going to read the whole article, I'm going to link to it below. Everything I reference in this video, you're going to find a link to it in the description below. But they said, we believe any interpretation of the OGL 1.0 or 1.0a were intended to be revocable or able to be deauthorized as incorrect and with good reason, we were there. They also made a point to spell out that their new open RPG creative license, or ORC for short, which is kind of interesting and maybe a little ironic considering orcs were kind of one of the biggest kerfuffles around D&D in the latest iteration of what D&D has become, I guess. But yeah, they said we invite gamers from around the world to join us as we begin the next great chapter of open gaming with the release of the new open, perpetual, and italicized irrevocable open RPG creative license. They go on, of course, to kind of spell out everything that they're planning to do, and to also say that there's more on the way. They're also putting all their second edition Pathfinder books up for sale, which has actually caused their website to crash, I believe on multiple occasions now. But it's clear that people are very interested in hopping on to not a new brand, but a revitalized older brand who happens to actually care for and respect their customers. So kudos to PAIZO and every other publisher involved in creating this new open game license. Of course, they ended it. They said, "We'll be there at your side. You can count on us not to go back on our word." Forever, PAIZO Inc. But not long ago, just hours ago, Wizards themselves released a statement at D&D Beyond, and they don't sound all that apologetic, to be honest. They say, they admit they rolled a 1, right? But they're using gaming vernacular to try to make you go, "Oh, yes, they rolled a 1. That's a familiar term. They're the good guys. They're gamers." Not so much anymore. I think all the real gamers have left that company long ago. That's why we're getting what we're getting, because we're getting Microsoft rejects put into positions of power specifically to make money and create a microtransaction environment, which nobody wants except for them. But yeah, I'll link to the article below. You can read it for yourself. However, we'll hit a few of the main points. Yeah, they say when we initially conceived of revising the OGL, it was with 3 major goals in mind. First, we wanted to prevent the use of D&D content from being included in hateful and discriminatory products. Was that happening? Was that a thing? I don't remember seeing that. Second, we wanted to address those attempting to use D&D in Web3 blockchain games and NFTs. Yeah, I mean, I can see that, but that's not really a big deal, I don't think. Third, we wanted to ensure that the OGL is for the content creator, the home brewer, the aspiring designer, our players, and the community, not major corporations to use for their own commercial and promotional purposes. Now, there's 2 things in here that they keep driving home. One, first and foremost, is the hateful and discriminatory products bit. They go over that a number of times in here, and I think it's just to, flash up that virtue signal into the sky so everybody will say, "Look, they're good people. They don't want hateful content." When it's not really happening anyway. Secondly, the second point they really seem to kind of revisit again and again is this other major corporations making vast amounts of money off of their open gaming license. They continue to say this was not intended in the original OGL, that was not intended in the original OGL, when I think the creators of the original OGL would probably disagree with most of what they're saying. It seems to me the people in charge now don't have the slightest idea what was originally intended in the first open gaming license, nor do they have their finger on the pulse of their customers, their fellow creators, people who have been propping them up. Instead, they have their fingers jammed squarely where the sun don't shine. And that, my friends, is going to come back to bite them in the same place. Now, there's one line in particular that really stuck out to me in this new statement they made today. In their a couple of last thoughts paragraph, they say, "You're going to hear people say that they won and we lost because making your voices heard forced us to change our plans." Those people will only be half right. They won, and so did we. Now, is it just me, or does it sound like they're continuing to take a jab at the very YouTubers and creators who have been propping them up for years? I don't know. It's like whoever's writing this stuff, like there's a vindictiveness about it. Just the language they use, something off. I think it kind of harkens back to what the leaker was saying about how they don't care. They only see customers as obstacles to their money. I don't know. This whole thing has just left me with an even worse taste in my mouth. They're not a great company. They haven't been for a long time, and I don't think they have faithfully preserved the game that we all know and love. So that's that for today. Sorry, this video went a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but there's a lot going on. I haven't covered any of it yet, so wanted to get in here and start doing some updates on these things and hopefully bring some more just regular gaming content in general. I would like to see PAIZO succeed in what they're doing. I haven't always agreed with them either, but at least they're trying to do right by the customers, by the fans, and that's what matters to me. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Please hit that subscribe button on your way out. Share the video if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you all on the next one. Peace.